Welcome to Starbound Valor HFY. Subscribe now and dive into daily epic sci-fi adventures where humanity always rises. Humanity watched the sky on the day everything changed. For years, Earth had waited for the Galactic Council to decide if humans were ready to join the wider galaxy. People stood in streets, on rooftops, inside homes, staring at every screen as a giant silver ship appeared above Earth. The ship opened like a flower, glowing with blue lights, and a tall alien figure stepped forward. At first, the world felt hope. Everyone thought this was the moment Earth would finally rise and become part of something greater. But then the alien's voice echoed around the planet, calm but cold, as if humanity was nothing more than dust. "Humans of Earth," it said, "you are not ready for the galaxy. You are denied entry. You are too dangerous, too unpredictable, too chaotic. For the safety of all, Earth shall remain isolated." The words hit every human like a blade. Silence spread across the planet, then anger followed. People shouted at the sky. Others cried. Some simply stood frozen, unable to understand how an entire species could be rejected so easily. But the alien was not finished. "You will not receive our maps. You will not receive our knowledge. You will stay where you are." And with that, the ship vanished into the stars, leaving Earth humiliated and burning with questions. In secret rooms beneath the ground, Earth's leaders gathered at once. They were angry, confused, and afraid of what the Council meant by too dangerous. Scientists tried to understand why the aliens feared humanity. Soldiers demanded answers. World leaders argued about what to do next. Some wanted to beg for a second chance. Others wanted revenge. But deep under the moon's shadow, one ship had already discovered the truth. This ship was called the Dark Star, Earth's secret project. It was not part of the official space program. It was built by hidden teams, made with stolen alien parts found long ago from a crashed craft in the desert. The world never knew about it. Now the Dark Star drifted silently behind the moon, listening to alien channels the Council believed humans could never access. The crew inside heard something dark, something the Council never meant for Earth to hear. A cold alien voice said, "If humans cannot join us, they must be controlled. Their growth is too fast. Their thinking is too sharp. We must stop them before they rise." The captain of the Dark Star felt his blood freeze. Earth had not just been rejected. It had been marked as a threat. He sent a secret message back home: "Council plans hostile action. They fear us. Prepare the planet." When this message reached Earth's hidden command center, leaders finally understood. The Council had never planned to welcome humans. They wanted to slow them down, maybe even keep them weak forever. Humanity's anger turned into something sharper: determination. If the galaxy did not want Earth, then Earth would survive without them. If the galaxy feared humans, then maybe humans could use that fear. A bold plan formed that same night. It was called Project Shadowrise. The idea was simple but dangerous: Earth would disappear from the galaxy's attention. No more open broadcasts. No more diplomatic messages. No more trying to impress the aliens. Instead, humanity would grow in silence. Hidden fleets. Hidden research labs. Hidden colonies. Everything in the shadows, away from alien eyes. The world's smartest minds were brought into underground cities. Engineers worked day and night to unlock the secrets of alien technology. Soldiers trained in dark bases where no satellite could see them. Massive factories on the far side of the moon began building ships that did not reflect light. Humanity chose to become invisible. And while Earth prepared for this new future, strange things began to happen around the solar system. A small alien probe passed near Mars and vanished. A listening station near Jupiter heard a deep humming sound, like a giant engine in the dark. A mining company on the asteroid belt reported spotting a black triangle-shaped object, moving with impossible speed. The Galactic Council noticed. They whispered among themselves, wondering if Earth was broken or if something else had begun. But they had no proof and no courage to look closer. Meanwhile, on Earth, everyone lived two lives. One life on the surface, where people pretended everything was normal. Another life underground, where humanity prepared for a future the galaxy would never expect. Humanity had been cast aside. But now, in the shadows, Earth was beginning to grow stronger, stronger than the Council could ever imagine. And the galaxy, without knowing it, had just created its greatest enemy, or its greatest force of change. Project Shadowrise began in silence, deep beneath Earth's surface, far from the eyes of satellites or alien sensors. Humanity moved like a wounded animal, quiet, angry, and preparing for something greater. The leaders of Earth understood that the Galactic Council would not leave humans alone for long. If the Council believed humans were dangerous, they would try to limit Earth's growth, maybe even invade. So Earth had no choice but to grow faster in the shadows than the Council expected in the light. The Dark Star, Earth's hidden ship, returned home with stolen alien technology and countless recordings. Scientists gathered around the ship like hungry minds finally seeing the future. Alien metal that could bend sound. Shields that used strange energy fields. Engines that folded space in ways humans had never imagined. In only days, Earth's best minds understood things the aliens believed would take humans centuries. Their speed shocked even themselves. Human engineering pushed limits. New materials were formed. Old factories were rebuilt. Entire cities were converted into research zones. Everything was happening underground or on the dark side of the moon, places alien sensors rarely watched. The world on the surface remained calm and normal. People went to work. Children went to school. News channels talked about politics. But under the ground, humanity was racing time itself. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council was confused. Their sensors picked up faint energy spikes from Earth's direction, too weak to be natural but too sharp to be accidental. Council members met again and again, trying to guess what humans were building. Some argued that Earth was panicking. Others believed humans were planning something darker. The truth was far more dangerous. Earth was becoming smarter, faster, and stronger at a speed the Council never imagined. The first major breakthrough came from a young engineer named Lyra. She discovered how to merge alien energy cores with human reactors. This allowed ships to run quieter than any alien vessel. No sound. No heat trail. No light bounce. With this new power, the first hidden warship was born. They called it Nightfall. It was shaped like a long black blade, sharp and silent, with a hull that swallowed starlight. When Nightfall moved through space, it did not shine. It did not leave a trail. It was a shadow cutting through the void. Testing began near Saturn. Only a few commanders and scientists were present. They watched from a small base as the ship activated its stealth systems. In seconds, Nightfall disappeared from all sensors, human and alien. Even with their own instruments pointed directly at it, they saw nothing. A whisper of pride spread through the room. Humanity had created something that did not exist in the entire galaxy. The news reached Earth's leaders, who felt a new fire ignite inside them. Humanity was no longer behind alien civilizations. Humanity was beginning to surpass them. But shadows also brought danger. The Council sent small spy drones around the solar system. One drone near Mars captured the shape of a strange object moving faster than any known human ship. The image was blurry, and the object vanished before the drone could track it. Still, the Council grew suspicious. Humans cannot build such ships, one alien ambassador said. Another replied, but what if they already have? Back on Earth, Project Shadowrise expanded. Massive underground chambers were filled with engineers building more ships like Nightfall. Factories printed parts day and night. Soldiers were trained to fight without being seen. Scientists built new weapons, silent railguns, dark energy pulses, and drones with no heat signatures. Humanity was slowly creating an entire hidden fleet. But the Dark Star brought something more dangerous than alien tech. It brought information. The Council was not only worried about human intelligence. They were afraid of something humans did not know, an ancient prophecy from an old alien race. One line in the prophecy said, "From the small blue world will rise the species that breaks the chains of the galaxy." Some alien members believed humans were that species. Others wanted to destroy Earth before they found out. This fear turned into secret council meetings where alien generals spoke of the future threat and necessary control. If humanity had known this earlier, they might have been preparing for surrender or negotiation. But now, after learning the truth, humans prepared for survival. The first fleet, called the Shadow Fleet, reached 7 ships by the end of the year. All 7 could vanish in plain sight. All 7 were armed with weapons the galaxy had never seen. And all 7 were loyal to one mission: protect Earth until the time came to rise. But that time was coming faster than anyone expected. As the Shadow Fleet trained near Jupiter, 2 Council spy ships entered the solar system without warning. They scanned space, searching for signs of human progress. What they found, or failed to find, would change everything. For the first time in history, alien ships were blind inside the solar system. Something was watching them from the dark, something they could not detect, something human. The galaxy had rejected humanity. Now humanity was building a power the galaxy could not understand, could not stop, and soon, could not escape. The first hidden fleet was supposed to stay silent for years, but fate moved faster than Earth expected. It began when an alien patrol ship entered the solar system on a routine scan. The Council wanted to check if humans were still peaceful and quiet, but they had no idea that Project Shadowrise had already changed everything. The alien ship, the Varkon Scout, moved past Jupiter, scanning for signals, heat trails, or ship movements. For a while, it found nothing. The solar system seemed normal and empty. But then its sensors caught a strange flicker near one of Jupiter's moons, something dark, something fast, something not following normal flight patterns. The Varkon captain tried to adjust his scanners, but the object moved again, disappearing before his instruments focused. He thought it was a glitch. It wasn't. It was the human warship Nightfall, watching silently from the darkness. Inside Nightfall, Captain Rian and his crew studied the alien ship carefully. They had orders from Earth: do not attack unless provoked, but make sure no alien leaves with proof of the Shadow Fleet. For hours, Nightfall followed the alien ship like a silent predator, its black hole blending into space, leaving no light or heat behind. The alien crew began to feel something was wrong. Their ship's temperature sensors flickered, their motion detectors twitched, and strange shadows appeared on their monitors. But every time they tried to focus, the shadow was gone. Then the alien pilot said the words that changed everything: "Captain, something is following us." The Varkon captain laughed at first. He believed humans were primitive, far behind in stealth technology. But when he reviewed the footage, a dark triangle shaped for only a fraction of a second, he felt fear. It wasn't a natural object. It wasn't a rock. It wasn't a glitch. It was a ship. A human ship. But faster, sharper, and far more advanced than anything the Council believed Earth could build. He immediately sent a coded message to the Council: possible human military advancement detected. Request backup. But the message never reached them. Nightfall intercepted it and jammed the signal, cutting it off mid-transmission. The alien captain realized then that they were not alone, not in scans, not in the system, not in the galaxy anymore. Humanity had grown teeth in the darkness. Back on Earth, leaders watched the alien patrol through Nightfall's live feed. They debated for hours about what to do. Some wanted to destroy the patrol ship. Others argued that attacking would reveal Earth's hidden power too soon. In the end, they chose a middle path: scare them, confuse them, and make them think their own sensors were broken. Show nothing, reveal nothing, but let fear grow. So Nightfall activated a new weapon, a shadow pulse. When the pulse hit the alien ship, all lights inside flickered, gravity wobbled, and alien screens turned black for exactly 7 seconds. In those 7 seconds, the alien crew felt pure terror. Their ship was still intact, But some unseen force, had touched them like a hand squeezing a throat. When the lights returned, an image appeared on every alien screen. It was a single sentence: leave. The aliens tried to escape immediately. Engines roared, shields lit, and the ship turned sharply toward deep space. But Nightfall stayed close, following silently, making sure they never saw its full shape. The Varkon captain recorded the shadowy figure again, but this time the image was clearer. A long black blade-shaped ship, no windows, no markings, no sound. He whispered to himself, "This cannot be human," but it was. And it was only the beginning. When the alien ship finally jumped out of the solar system, Nightfall returned to its base near Saturn. Celebration spread through the crew. They had succeeded without firing a shot. But Earth's leaders were not celebrating. The alien ship might have escaped with partial scans. Partial information was dangerous. If the Council believed humans were advancing too quickly, they might send a larger force next time, maybe even an invasion fleet. Humanity had to prepare faster. Underground, factories doubled their production. Engineers worked longer hours. Scientists pushed new boundaries. The Shadow Fleet grew from 7 ships to 12. Some were larger than Nightfall, with longer wings and deeper stealth fields. Training simulations became harder. Humans were preparing for a future war they hoped would never come but knew might be unavoidable. Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council, panic spread. When the Varkon captain reported what he saw, several council members accused him of lying. Others believed him and demanded immediate action. A heated argument broke out. "If humans can build such ships, they will challenge us," one alien shouted. Another replied, "Then we must strike before they rise any further." But the council leader, a tall redskin being named Soliker, said something no one expected: "Do not attack Earth yet. If they have built these ships, we must learn how. We must understand their rise." And with that, the council sent 2 more spy ships toward the solar system. But this time, they would not find a frightened, weak humanity. They would find shadows waiting for them. And those shadows were ready. Voices in the dark began to move across the galaxy, whispering warnings, fears, and half-seen shadows, and every whisper pointed toward one place: Earth. The Galactic Council tried to understand the strange silence coming from the solar system, but the silence only made them more afraid. 2 new spy ships, the Redhiz and the Morvain, entered the system slowly, scanning every planet, asteroid, and moon for signs of human activity. At first, they found nothing unusual. Earth looked quiet. Mars showed no military activity. The moon appeared calm. But deep beneath Earth's oceans, under the ice of Antarctica, and in hidden stations around Saturn, humanity was preparing for something the aliens could not imagine. The center of all operations was a secret base under Antarctica known only as Black Haven. It was built in a network of frozen caverns so cold and deep that even alien thermal scanners could not detect life. Inside Black Haven, scientists worked around a massive machine, a star-core reactor. It was humanity's most dangerous and powerful creation, capable of fueling an entire fleet or destroying an entire region of space if misused. For months, this machine slept quietly. But on this day, the machine began to wake, glowing with deep blue light that pulsed like a beating heart. The awakening was not by accident. It was triggered by the Dark Star, which had intercepted a new council message. Earth's leaders listened as alien voices argued. "Humans are building something," one said. "They must be," another replied. "Our spies found traces of energy we do not understand." Then a more chilling voice spoke, one that made every human in the room fall silent. "If humans rise, they will break the balance of the galaxy. If they rise, we fall. Prepare for possible action." Those words hit Earth like a warning bell. Humanity realized the Council was closer to war than peace. And so Black Haven activated the star-core reactor. Its energy spread through underground tunnels, powering construction lines, scanners, stealth fields, and human warships hidden across the solar system. The awakening of the reactor created a faint ripple in space, so small that humans barely noticed it, but strong enough for the Redhis to detect. Commander Telzer of the Redhis watched his scanner with growing confusion. "Something just moved," he said. "I do not know what, but something big." His second officer checked again and again. "It must be a mistake. Humans cannot create this kind of energy." But Telzer shook his head. He remembered the Varkon captain's report. He remembered the shadow ship. And now he remembered the fear. "Set full scan," he ordered. "I want every particle measured." But the moment the scan began, everything went wrong. The ship's screen turned black. Words appeared in bright white text, "You should not be here." The crew gasped. This was not a glitch. This was not a malfunction. Something, was controlling their ship. Before they could react, the stealth field of nightfall dropped for 1 second, revealing its terrifying shape only long enough for the aliens to see its long, black wing. Then it vanished again. The aliens panicked. "The shadow ship," one shouted. "It followed us." But the captain of the Redhis did not run. He wanted proof. He wanted to show the Council that humanity was too dangerous to ignore. So he pushed the ship forward, deeper into the system. Meanwhile, on the other side of the solar system, the Morvain spotted something far more terrifying. A giant shape moved slowly near Saturn's rings. No lights. No signal. No heat. It was not a natural object. It was a ship, bigger than anything the galaxy had built in centuries. The Morvain crew watched in horror as the giant vessel slowly turned its black hull toward them. Then a voice came through their speakers, calm, cold, and human, "Do not scan our world again." The Morvain fled instantly, jumping out of the system at maximum speed, leaving behind only a scrambled recording of the giant shadow ship. Back on Earth, human leadership received the report from Black Haven that the Starcore reactor was fully online. Earth now had enough power to build and control an entire hidden empire. But victory came with danger. The more humans advanced, the more the galaxy watched. In the Galactic Council chamber, panic erupted when the Redhis and Morvain reports arrived. Some council members demanded immediate invasion. Others argued for negotiation. But every voice fell silent when the Council AI translated the message that the Morvain had received: "Do not scan our world again." It was not a threat. It was a warning. A calm, confident warning. Something only a rising power would say. Council leader Soliker spoke softly but firmly: "Humanity has grown stronger in the dark. If we are not careful, we will face a force far beyond our understanding." Back in the solar system, the Shadow Fleet gathered near Jupiter, silent and ready. Humans had not chosen war, but they would not accept fear or control. The galaxy had tried to push Earth down, but instead, it had created a power rising in the shadows, stronger, smarter, and now fully awake. The signal came late in the night, breaking through the secure channels of Black Haven like a distant cry from the edge of the universe. At first, the machines did not understand it. The frequency was old, the code damaged, and the voice almost lost in static. But then the computers decoded a single line that froze every human in the room. "This is Colony Terra 7, we are alive, please help us," the message repeated again and again, weak and shaking, as if it had traveled across decades of darkness. Earth's leaders gathered instantly. Terra 7 was a name buried in classified history. It was one of the earliest human colonies, launched secretly long before the Council ever contacted Earth. The official story said the mission failed. But the truth was hidden. Terra 7 had been destroyed by an alien strike, and no survivors were ever confirmed. Yet now, a voice was calling from that dead world. Shadow Fleet Command immediately activated the Dark Star, Nightfall, and 3 other ships. Their mission was simple: reach Terra 7, find the source of the signal, and uncover the truth the Council had buried. The journey took days through silent space. The fleet traveled in full stealth, slipping through starlight like phantoms. There were moments where alien patrol networks came close to detecting them, but the new shadow drives kept the humans invisible. When they reached the Terra 7 star system, the ship slowed in shock. The planet was ruined. Burned cities. Cracked mountains. Oceans turned to gray ice. It was clear this world had suffered a brutal attack long ago. Commander Rian stood on Nightfall's bridge, staring at the broken world below. "They said this colony died in an accident," he whispered. This was no accident. The fleet began scanning for life. For hours, they detected nothing. It seemed the signal was only an old echo. But then a small energy signature appeared under the planet's surface. A hidden bunker. A faint heartbeat. Humans. Living humans. The fleet moved closer. The landing team entered the underground bunker, expecting abandoned halls and silent corridors. Instead, they found people thin, tired, scared, but alive. When the survivors saw human soldiers in modern armor, they cried. Their leader, a woman named Mara, stepped forward with tears in her eyes. "We thought Earth forgot us," she said. "We thought we were the last ones." The humans from Terra 7 told a story that burned through the Shadow Fleet like fire. Many years ago, before Earth knew the Council existed, alien ships arrived at Terra 7. The colonists welcomed them. They believed first contact had come. But the aliens did not come for peace. The Council had already judged early humans as a potential threat. Terra 7 was destroyed to stop human expansion. Only a few thousand survived by hiding deep below the surface. They waited, trapped, hungry, growing weaker each year, keeping the old signal transmitter alive with failing machines, hoping someone, anyone, would hear them one day. When Earth soldiers heard this, rage filled their hearts. Humanity had not only been rejected, they had been attacked long before they even knew the galaxy existed. Commander Rian recorded every story, every detail, every image. "The Council lied," he said. "They killed humans and tried to erase them from history." The survivors were taken aboard the fleet. For the first time in years, they saw stars without fear. Children who had never known open skies looked out windows with wonder and confusion. But something else happened on the way back. As the Shadow Fleet moved away from Terra 7, an alien patrol ship appeared on long-range sensors. It had detected the same signal. Maybe it was following the humans, or maybe it was searching for proof the colony still existed. Nightfall hid the fleet instantly, but the patrol ship moved closer. If the aliens discovered the survivors, they would kill them, just like before. Commander Rian made a choice. "Prepare the Shadow Pulse," he ordered. "They will not touch these people again." The pulse fired silently from Nightfall, striking the alien ship. For 10 seconds, their systems crashed. Engines froze. Lights died. When they came back online, the alien ship saw nothing. No human ships. No survivors. No threat. Only empty space. The fleet vanished into the dark, carrying Terra 7's people home. When the fleet returned to Earth, the survivors were greeted like heroes. Their stories spread through Blackhaven like wildfire. Every soldier, scientist, and leader felt the same burning truth: the Council had not rejected humanity, they had feared humanity from the beginning. And in that fear, they had done terrible things. Terra 7 became the heart of Project Shadowrise. Humans promised never to let such a tragedy happen again. In the hidden halls of Blackhaven, Earth made a new vow: we rise for those who were lost. We rise for the forgotten. We rise from the shadows, stronger than ever. Humanity had now uncovered the Council's darkest secret. And the galaxy had no idea what was coming next. Earth's hidden empire moved quietly through the dark space between stars, but now its silence was over. As reports of the Council's weakened borders reached Earth, Admiral Aiden Stone knew their time had come. For years, Earth had been rejected, ignored, cast aside like they were nothing, and humans responded by building something the galaxy never imagined. And now, deep beneath the frozen surface of Pluto, the greatest fleet ever created by humans was waking up. Massive doors opened inside the underground hangars, revealing ships larger than mountains, their black armor glowing with soft blue lines. Engineers and soldiers stood on steel platforms as reactors hummed and engines warmed. Every ship carried the same symbol, an Earth rising from shadows. The Silent Armada, once only a secret project, was now alive. Aiden walked onto the command bridge of the flagship Eclipse Prime. The entire bridge felt like a war cathedral, with dark metal walls and bright holograms floating in the air. His officers snapped to attention, eyes burning with excitement and fear. "Status?" Aiden asked. "All ships online, sir," Captain Mira replied. "Stealth field stable. Weapon cores heating. Fleet is ready." For a moment Aiden said nothing. He looked at the hologram map showing the Council's territory. Red alerts blinked across their borders: pirate attacks, unknown invaders, collapsing alliances. The galaxy thought Earth was dying. But Earth had never been stronger. "Begin launch sequence," Aiden said. Engines roared beneath the ground as the hangar floor split open. The Eclipse Prime rose slowly through a massive lift shaft, breaking into the vacuum of space like a sleeping giant stretching for the first time. Around it, thousands of ships followed: Titan cruisers, shadow frigates, silent destroyers, and long-range war platforms armed with weapons no alien had ever seen. The fleet spread out in perfect formation, each ship cloaked but powerful enough to burn a moon. Back on Earth, millions watched the broadcast of the fleet's awakening. People in cities, stations, villages, and domes stood under public screens and saw humanity's true strength for the first time. Old fear turned into pride. The Council had refused Earth a seat. Now Earth would not ask, it would take its place. As the Armada moved into deep space, Aiden received a new report. An alien fleet, unknown, had entered the Council's core systems. They were destroying everything, moving like a storm. The Council begged for help. They sent desperate messages across every network. But no one answered. Only Earth could. "Sir," Mira said softly, "if we reveal ourselves now, the whole galaxy will know humanity is back." Aiden closed his eyes. He remembered the day the Council rejected Earth, the laughter, the insults, the judgment. They had treated humans as weak. They had forced Earth into shadows. But humans did not break, they evolved. "We reveal nothing," Aiden said. "Not yet." The fleet continued moving silently toward Council space. Every ship had its stealth field fully active. To alien sensors, space looked empty. But behind that emptiness was a force strong enough to change the galaxy forever. Inside the Council's capital system, chaos spread. Civilians ran. Leaders panicked. Warships exploded like sparks in the void. The unknown invaders were brutal and fast, their ships covered in red armor and dark spikes. They did not ask for surrender. They aimed only to destroy. On a distant outpost, a group of Council soldiers saw something impossible on their scanners. A shadow. A shape. A reading that made no sense. "What is that?" one asked. But then it vanished. Earth's Armada had passed by them in complete silence. They did not fire. They did not announce themselves. They moved like ghosts toward the heart of the battle. On the Eclipse Prime, Aiden stood over the main display. The enemy fleet was huge, but Earth's technology, forged in secret, was far beyond anything the galaxy knew. Mira whispered, "Sir, we are entering combat range." "Orders?" Aiden stared at the glowing red icons. Years ago, the Council rejected Earth. Today, the Council was begging for help. And humanity was bringing a storm made of shadows. "Activate all weapons," Aiden said softly. "The Silent Armada will speak." Deep inside every human warship, weapon cores opened like awakening stars. Energy gathered. Systems locked onto targets. A quiet tension spread across the fleet. Then, with no warning, with no announcement, with no mercy, Earth's first shot in decades lit up the galaxy. The galaxy had no warning before the darkness moved. The Silent Armada broke out of warp right at the edge of the Council's capital system, but no one saw them arrive. There were shadows inside shadows, silent hunters in the middle of a burning battlefield. On every council screen, alarms screamed and red symbols flashed as the unknown invaders crushed ship after ship with terrifying speed. But then something strange appeared in the data. Enemy ships were exploding without visible attackers nearby. Council commanders were confused, shouting orders across damaged bridges, trying to understand what was happening. They did not know Earth was there, hidden inside the dark. On the flagship Eclipse Prime, Admiral Aiden stood on the command deck, eyes hard as he watched the enemy formation change. "Maintain stealth," he ordered quietly. His voice carried strength, calm, and cold purpose. "Target their command vessels first. No sound. No signal. End them in silence." The Earth ships obeyed. They locked onto distant targets with weapons the galaxy had never seen. Shadow cannons fired beams so thin and fast they looked like nothing at all. They passed through space like whispers. But when they hit, enemy ships shattered like glass. One by one, the red-armored invaders looked as if invisible giants were crushing them from the void. On Council World Arion, citizens stared at the sky as flashes of battle lit up the night. Some prayed. Some ran. Some simply watched, confused, as their own defense fleets struggled and exploded. Then the pattern changed. Suddenly, explosions grew controlled, precise, almost surgical. Someone was helping them. But who? Back in space, the enemy fleet paused for the first time. Their ships stopped moving, uncertain. They scanned the system again and again, but Earth's armada was cloaked beyond detection. Then Aiden gave the order that changed the battle completely. "Drop cloak," he said. Mira looked at him, shocked. "Sir, are you sure?" "The galaxy must see," Aiden replied. "They rejected us, but they will remember this." And so, with a deep pulse of energy, the silent armada appeared. Thousands of black warships materialized at once, forming a wall across the stars. Their armor glowed with cold blue light. Their engines burned like silent suns. For the first time in history, the galaxy saw humanity's true strength. The Council fleets froze. Civilians watching from planets gasped. Even the enemy invaders hesitated, pulling back in confusion as ship after ship decloaked. Humanity had returned, not weak, not desperate, not begging for respect. They returned as giants. Aiden raised his hand. "All ships," he said, "open fire." What followed was not a battle. It was a lesson. Earth's beams sliced through enemy formations like blades through paper. Their missiles moved with AI-guided precision, weaving between debris to strike engines and power cores. Their Titan-class war platforms unleashed heavy shock blasts that folded enemy hulls like they were made of thin metal sheets. The invaders tried to regroup, forming a tight circle around their command cruiser, a massive red fortress. But Aiden was already watching it. "Bring the command cruiser down," he said. The Eclipse Prime powered up its main weapon, a gravitational lance. A beam of compressed gravity shot forward, bending light around it. When it hit the enemy cruiser, space twisted. The red ship cracked in half before exploding into a bright cloud of fire. The rest of the alien fleet panicked. Without their command ship, their formation collapsed. They attempted to retreat, but Earth's silent armada surrounded them from every side, blocking every path. "No survivors," Aiden said. "This threat ends today." The battle lasted only minutes. By the time the last enemy ship burned, the Council system was silent again. Smoke drifted across the void. Wreckage floated everywhere. Council rescue ships slowly emerged from hiding, unsure if they should approach or flee from these new arrivals. On the Council capital planet, every screen showed the same image, Earth's armada, standing still after the storm, black and blue giants filling the sky. Council leaders stared in shock, whispering among themselves, unable to believe who had saved them. Humanity, the same species they once rejected and humiliated, had just destroyed a fleet that their entire alliance could not stop. Aiden opened a secure channel to the Council. His image appeared in their war chamber. Leaders trembled. Some lowered their heads. They expected threats, revenge, anger. But Aiden spoke simply. His voice was calm, controlled, powerful. "This is Admiral Aiden of Earth," he said. "Your system is safe. The enemy is gone. We will speak soon." Then he ended the connection. No demands. No insults. No celebration. Earth had spoken through strength, not words. Mira stepped beside him. "Sir, what do we do now?" Aiden looked at the council world glowing below them. "Now," he said softly, "we prepare for what's coming next." Because he knew the truth. This attack was only the beginning. The void was silent before the storm, but that silence shattered the moment Earth's fleet moved into the Council's core systems. Every ship of the silent armada glided through space like a shadow, their black armor absorbing light and fear. Alien fleets scrambled as reports poured into the Council's war chamber. Ships that had once ruled entire sectors now moved like frightened children, unable to locate the source of the strikes that had already destroyed dozens of vessels. On the flagship Eclipse Prime, Admiral Aiden Stone stood over the holographic map, his eyes sharp, calculating every movement, predicting enemy reactions before they even occurred. "Deploy the forward phalanx," he ordered. "Engage the perimeter, but no full fire yet. Let them feel our presence first." His fleet responded instantly. Shadow frigates moved like whispers around the enemy, striking from angles the aliens did not anticipate, tearing through holes with silent plasma blades. The invaders fired blindly, missiles screaming through space, but their weapons found nothing. Human ships were shadows and ghosts, slipping through sensors, appearing only when it was too late. In one sector, a council cruiser turned to fire at a nearby target, only to find it already gone, replaced by a black silhouette that moved faster than thought possible. The cruiser's captain shouted, confused, as alarms flared across the bridge. "They are everywhere, but nowhere." Back on Earth, millions watched the hidden broadcasts from Black Haven. Screens showed only flashes, short glimpses of shapes moving faster than the eye could follow, beams of energy striking alien vessels, and explosions that lit empty space. People cheered quietly. Humanity had risen from the shadows, stronger than anyone had expected. But inside the Eclipse Prime, the battle was far from over. Aiden's sensors picked up the enemy's strongest ships converging toward a narrow corridor in the system. They hoped to trap the silent armada, but humans had prepared for this. "Activate the silent wings," Aiden commanded. Dozens of long-range destroyers glided into the corridor, cloaked completely. Then, without warning, they fired. Energy waves erupted from all sides, folding space just enough to crush the enemy formation from within. Shock waves tore through holes, engines exploded, and entire squadrons vanished in seconds. The Council fleet was caught in a nightmare of invisible attacks, unable to respond as their forces collapsed piece by piece. On a smaller human vessel near Saturn, Lieutenant Mara whispered to herself as she watched the destruction. "It's perfect, and terrible." She had trained for years for this moment, yet seeing it unfold felt unreal. The aliens were strong, but humanity's stealth, precision, and planning were stronger. In the middle of the chaos, Aiden made his next move. "Prepare the Gravlance batteries," he said. "We end this now." The weapon, a massive black cannon powered by Earth's Starcore reactors, fired silently across the battlefield. It struck the largest enemy warship in the center of the fleet, the command vessel of the invading forces. Space bent around it. Hulls cracked. Engines ruptured. The ship exploded, sending fragments across the battlefield like a storm of fire. The remaining enemy ships scattered in panic. Some attempted retreat, but the silent armada surrounded them from every angle. Cloaked cruisers blocked escape routes. Shadow frigates moved silently behind them. There was nowhere to hide. The Council's forces had never faced an enemy like this. They were fast, smart, and invisible. They had patience, precision, and power. Humanity had transformed from a rejected species into a force the galaxy could not ignore. Hours passed, and the battle became a display of strategy and control. Humans did not fire randomly. They targeted the strongest first, disabling weapons, breaking shields, and leaving no survivors among those who resisted. By the time the last alien ship tried to flee, the silent armada had already surrounded it. Their weapons powered down, leaving a single human ship hovering silently above the wreckage. The galaxy watched, paralyzed, as a single signal transmitted to every council world: "You cast us aside. We are here. And we rise in the dark." Aiden looked at Mira, his second-in-command, and spoke quietly. "They know now. Humanity cannot be ignored." Mira nodded. "They will fear us forever." On the council capital, leaders stared at the same transmission, fear spreading faster than fire. They had treated humans as weak, inferior, unworthy, but now they saw the truth. Humanity had grown in the shadows. Humanity had mastered stealth, power, and war. Humanity had become untouchable, unseen, and unstoppable. And yet, Aiden knew this was only the beginning. The Battle of Broken Light had ended, but the war for the galaxy's respect, and for survival, was far from over. The silent armada regrouped, black ships gleaming faintly in the darkness of space, ready to move again, waiting for the next command, for the next strike, for the day humanity would show the galaxy that no power could ever cast it aside again. The galaxy had been silent since the Battle of Broken Light, but that silence was about to end. Humanity had shown power, precision, and control, but no one had yet seen the full scope of what Earth had built in the shadows. Now, from the hidden corridors of Black Haven to the far reaches of the solar system, the entire Shadow Fleet moved together, a tide of black ships stretching across space like a living shadow. The Eclipse Prime, Aidenstone's flagship, led the formation, its massive hull glowing faintly with blue energy lines that no alien had ever seen. Every vessel in the fleet followed, silent, invisible, yet capable of crushing entire star systems. For decades, the Council had believed humanity weak, unready, and unworthy. Now, humanity had risen in secret, hidden from sensors, undetected by spies, and invisible even to the most advanced scanners. And tonight, the galaxy would see the empire Earth had built. Aiden ordered the fleet to approach the Council's homeworld. Sensors detected massive panic. Civilian ships fled to outer planets. Warships scrambled to form a defense, but it was useless. Humanity's shadow had become a blade over the heart of the galaxy. The first visual strike was terrifying. Without warning, the Shadow Fleet decloaked in perfect formation, thousands of black ships filling the sky, each larger and deadlier than anything previously imagined. Council leaders froze as they saw humanity's empire revealed. Holograms lit the war room, showing Earth's power in full. Red alerts screamed across consoles as sensors tried to calculate the size, strength, and speed of the fleet. "Impossible," one council admiral whispered. They were hiding. How? But it was no longer a question. Humanity was here. Not as diplomats, not as beggars, not as guests. Humanity was here as rulers of its own destiny, a force no one could ignore. From the command deck of the Eclipse Prime, Aiden spoke to the fleet, calm and unwavering. "We were rejected. We were cast aside. We were told we were weak, unready, and unworthy. They watched us suffer. They tried to stop us. And for decades, we waited, we learned, we built. Tonight, the galaxy sees what humanity has become. We rise, not to destroy, but to claim what is ours." The message was transmitted across every channel in the system, reaching council worlds, allies, enemies, and satellites alike. The entire galaxy paused to listen. Fear spread faster than fire. Panic ran through military forces. Entire fleets hesitated, unsure of what to do. Humanity did not strike first. They had the power to crush worlds instantly, yet they moved with precision and patience, like a predator that knows the value of timing. Then, the Eclipse Prime sent a message directly to the Council leadership. A simple broadcast, calm and cold, filled every screen in the capital city: "You cast us aside. We are here. And we will not be ignored. Join us or step aside." The silence that followed was heavier than any battle. Council leaders stared at the transmission, unable to move. Some whispered about surrender. Others whispered about attack. But every voice trembled. Humanity had proven one thing: power is not given, it is taken, shaped in shadows, and unleashed at the right moment. On the ground, civilians looked to the skies, seeing ships the size of mountains hovering above their cities, silent, calm, terrifying. The Shadow Fleet did not attack. They waited. Every ship was armed beyond imagination, weapons capable of leveling continents, fleets, even moons. The Council's armies realized the truth: they were outmatched, outsmarted, and outclassed. Humanity had built an empire in the dark, and now it revealed its face. Aiden walked slowly across the bridge, his gaze calm but piercing. "This is not war yet," he said. "This is a message. We will show restraint, but our patience is not infinite. Those who try to challenge us will see the consequences." Mira, standing beside him, nodded. "They will never forget this day." Across the galaxy, whispers spread like wildfire. Humans, once considered weak and primitive, had built a fleet, weapons, and technology that no one could match. Entire nations began reconsidering alliances. Some fled to outer systems, hoping to hide. Others sent envoys, begging to negotiate, desperate to avoid humanity's wrath. But Aiden and the fleet did not rush to attack. Their power was their message. They had grown silently, in shadows, and now they had emerged. The galaxy had two choices: accept the rise of Earth or face the consequences. The Shadow Fleet remained in position, silent and powerful, a wave of darkness over the Council's heart. And in that silence, the truth became clear: humanity would never again be cast aside, ignored, or humiliated. The empire built in shadows had finally shown its face, and the galaxy would tremble for what came next. The galaxy had waited, watched, and underestimated humanity for centuries, but now the shadows had ended and the full force of Earth's power revealed itself in the light of distant stars. The silent armada, once hidden, now stretched across the core systems of the Council, each black ship massive and silent, engines glowing with the faint blue of advanced reactors, weapons primed and deadly. Every ship a monument to human ingenuity and patience. On the flagship Eclipse Prime, Admiral Aiden Stone stood on the bridge, eyes scanning the stars ahead. He had led humanity through rejection, through secrecy, through battles fought in silence and shadows, and now the time had come to show the galaxy that humans were no longer prey, they were rulers of their destiny. Around him, the fleet moved in perfect formation, thousands of ships in tight alignment, each capable of unseen destruction yet disciplined, trained, and loyal. Across the Council systems, alarms screamed as sensors lit up with impossible readings. Entire fleets that once commanded respect now trembled, their captains unsure where the attacks would come from, unable to detect the ships moving silently above them, cloaked until the precise moment of strike. Aiden's voice carried calmly over the fleet's communication channels. "This is not revenge. This is not chaos. This is a warning and a lesson. Humanity has been rejected, attacked, and ignored. We have survived, we have learned, and we have built what no one expected. We rise in the light now. The galaxy will see what we have become." Holographic projections lit the bridge, showing the Council's capitals, their fleets, and strategic systems. All vulnerable. All within reach of the silent armada's weapons. Yet Aiden did not rush to strike. Humanity had waited, watched, and planned. This demonstration of power was deliberate, calculated, meant to instill awe, respect, and fear. On the Council homeworld, civilians and soldiers alike looked to the sky, seeing black shadows stretching across the stars, fleets larger than any construction they had ever imagined. Panic swept through the chambers as leaders argued, some begging for peace, others plotting attack, but none had the courage to act. The humans were already everywhere. Then, Aiden gave the command that would seal the moment. "Decloak fully. Let them see us. Let them understand that we are no longer the species they can ignore." In an instant, thousands of human ships materialized across space, black and blue, long shadows stretching over planets, moons, and orbital stations. Energy thrummed in the air as weapon cores and engines glowed, showing both beauty and threat. The message was clear: humanity had mastered stealth, technology, and strategy, and now it stood in the open, unmatched. Across the galaxy, reports came in from allied and neutral worlds. Some whispered of fear, some of admiration, and some of disbelief. How could humans, once thought weak, cast aside, and primitive, build an empire of such scope and precision without the galaxy knowing? Back on the Eclipse Prime, Aiden addressed the fleet. We do not strike yet. We show restraint because power is its own message. Let the galaxy know, humanity is back, we are strong, and we are rising in the light. Those who attempt to harm Earth or its people will face consequences beyond imagination. The fleet held position, silent yet powerful, a wall of shadows now fully revealed, a force of nature no alien species could ignore. On one of the Council's outer stations, a young officer whispered in fear, they were hiding, all this time, and now, they are unstoppable. And he was right. Humanity had not only survived rejection, they had learned, adapted, and surpassed every expectation. The survivors of Terra 7, engineers from Black Haven, and soldiers from Earth's hidden armies all looked out from the fleet, knowing that their patience, secrecy, and courage had led to this day. The galaxy had underestimated humans for centuries, but now there was no denying their power. The silent armada moved with precision, every ship ready, every weapon capable of destruction, yet disciplined, showing not chaos but control. Aiden smiled quietly. We rise for those who were lost. We rise for those who doubted us. We rise for every generation that was told humanity was weak. And we will continue to rise, until the galaxy knows our name and never forgets it. As the first light of distant stars reflected off the black holes, Earth's empire revealed itself fully. The galaxy could no longer ignore humanity, could no longer deny its strength, and could no longer hope that humans would stay silent in the shadows. The waiting was over. The rise was complete. Humanity had forged its destiny, hidden no longer, powerful beyond imagination, and the universe would remember this moment forever. The silent armada stretched across the stars, a living testament to what rejection, perseverance, and vision could create. And from that moment on, the galaxy would never again cast aside humanity.